I'm excited to share with you in this video and the next 4 videos after this. We're going to focus in on some concepts and ideas about how you can be a coach of an athletic team. Since I was a head coach for 30 years in basketball, in these next 5 videos, and starting with this one, we're going to focus in on different ideas to help you become a more effective coach. Feel free to pass these on to anyone you know that coaches any kind of student athlete of any age. I think these tips will be very helpful with all my experience from going from the bad to the good to the great in my coaching career. So I hope you enjoy, and let's start out. Again, this is Coach Jim Johnson, and let's start with this first video on how to plan an effective practice. Do you plan out your practices, or do you just try to wing it? An effective practice can be executed in many ways. For me, I always like to focus on consistency and structure. I found that if you establish these 2 things every practice, you will put yourself and your team to get more accomplished in the time you have together. Having nearly 4 decades of experience as a basketball coach, I wanted to start off my video series by sharing tactics on different tips that you can add to your agenda to help be more effective basketball or any kind of athletic coach. First of all, in practice, pre-practice meeting. Usually in the beginning of the week, you could have a quick, maybe 5 to 10 minute meeting to go over things like the theme of the week. Number 2, I always had a quote every day. Number 3 is the objectives for practice. Number 4 is the non-negotiables, and we always use the scoreboard in the gym to help us establish structure and efficiency in between drills. It also establishes good habits for players to pay attention to the clock during game plan. Very powerful. Organization in practice. I split up every practice into 8 segments. The segments were the following: shooting, fundamentals, man-to-man defense, man-to-man offense, zone offense and defense we combined. Number 6 was special end-of-the-game situations. Number 7 was transition, and 8 was full court press, both offense and defense. How about you? How do you break your practices up? Game prep is part of practice. As we got closer to upcoming games, I would start to add things that pertain to our opponent. Game tape, plays, defensive schemes, personnel, etc. Coming together in certain drills, we would work on a specific skill separately or in small groups, then come together and perform as a whole. We would always start by starting with the whole, then we would go to the small part and then come back to the whole. This increased the number of reps that we could do during practice. We always made practice competitive. That's why we kept score, and we had the scoreboard on, and we would have consequences if you lost the game or drill. So we always tried to make practice competitive. The perfection drill. We started most practices with a drill called perfection, where we got everyone going in the right mindset for practice. For example, we would need to do the 3-man weave and make a number of layups in a row before we could finish the drill. Practice focus areas make practice more difficult than a game. Number 2, be consistent with your vocabulary and phrases. 3, speed. Make a game simulation in your drills. 4, praise when necessary for things like a good box out, taking a charge, making the extra pass. So praise things that are not so easy. Just don't praise every little thing. Praise things that make them a challenge. So think about some of the concepts we talked about. How are you going to organize practice? Are you going to put it on the clock? Are you making it competitive? Are you putting them in pressure situations to make practice harder, if you can, than a game? These are all ideas that you want to take out. And I really want to emphasize, too, as far as your structure of the season, I love the theme of the week. Like, for example, Attitude could be a theme, or work ethic, or being a team player. Those are all things that we use as theme. And then start each practice with a quote based on your theme, like attitudes are contagious. Is yours worth catching? Or teamwork makes the dream work. But really get a lot of energy and enthusiasm. Remember that they're going to follow your lead. And if you've got excitement, energy, and you show competency, your team is going to follow your lead, and then you can build each day to work on making that a championship level team. Take these ideas and go get it done and be the champion.